Fade in on a man sitting at a computer furiously typing away. As we zoom in on the page, we see him writing the final sentence, which is, "And then the evil walrus is revealed to actually be their long-lost mother who is only evil because she needed the power of love." The man opens his browser and attaches his script to an email with the subject line, "Money please," in all caps. He triumphantly hits send and leans back in his chair, closing his eyes in momentary relaxation. But when he opens them again, he is surrounded by piles of scripts and papers falling from the ceiling continuously and stacking all around him. There is no escape. The man, in his panic, reaches out and grabs some papers, only to see his name on every sheet. He's done this to himself. As the stacks of paper cave in and swallow him alive, the camera fades back to reveal a cabal of trees, watching him slowly be consumed for his waste of paper over the years. Fin. We watched Signs and The Happening.
The French champagne.
Champagne!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
Once they were men, now they are land crabs.
Amanda Bynes is a national treasure.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
Hey, Daddy lost his eagle.
I hope
So-
no one from my family listens to this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is...
Okay, so hi, welcome to Citizen Kane Versus. This is a podcast. We're aiming to be a professional podcast, failing sometimes, succeeding sometimes. But this is a podcast where, if you don't know already, where we compare a classic movie, whatever that means, it's becoming distorted more and more, versus a schlocky movie, which I think we have a good handle of.
We could go schlockier.
We could go schlockier.
Yeah.
We all watched The Happening, right?
Yeah, but that's just like a bad movie.
That's part of schlockiness.
Yeah.
Right?
But
And
there are...
Anyways. So, and we decide which one is better. That's the whole game. That's the whole thing. My name is Jack Rennie, and I'm joined by my two friends, one...
Sean Jacqueline?
And the other...
Daniel Benoit. Why was there so much questioning in your voice there?
I've been doing a lot of self-searching lately.
Oh, that's nice. How's that going for you?
I don't know, it's fine.
Okay.
Who is Sean? And if you're listening to the podcast today, then do give us a follow. Just really quick ask. I'm not going to go into length on this, but
on most things, we're most places that
Yeah,
there
wherever
are a follow thing.
yeah, wherever you like to follow people, follow us. It's
Yeah.
usually at Citizen Kane or
I think Facebook's the only place we don't have a presence because fuck Facebook.
yeah, because what are we doing? So Citizen Kane Versus, usually spelled, I think always spelled VS.
Yeah.
There's a Twitter, or there's a VS, Citizen Kane VS podcast on Instagram and stuff. So just wherever you want to do stuff. But thanks for listening. So we sometimes do some fun facts about these movies. And all I can say is I just read a funny little thing, and it was just from Mark Wahlberg talking about
Oh dear.
how he does regret doing the movie. Because
Yeah, no shit.
it's a regrettable movie to be in. But he apparently was like, well, you can't blame me for wanting to play a science teacher. Like, at least I wasn't a criminal or a thug, like he or a cop. Like he was.
Oh, that's funny.
He was like trying to expand, like he was trying to get range.
Yeah.
And he was like, finally, I'm being considered for something.
And next step, Oscar Gold, baby.
Next step.
He has an Oscar, doesn't he?
Mark Wahlberg has an Oscar
He was nominated for an Oscar.
for
The Departed.
The Departed.
For The Departed.
Okay, like I get that just because that movie was made to have the Oscars throw medals at it.
Yeah.
So like just by default, he like a few of those Oscars would have hit him on the way to other actors.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't win.
Yeah.
So that might be it. And also maybe for
The Fighter
was it for The Fighter?
nominee as well.
Yeah, I mean,
But
that's
that was
fair.
for best picture.
The
I don't
Fighter
think
was-
he got a nomination.
Oh, I mean, he wasn't great, but The Fighter was an incredible movie.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But we're not talking about the fighter today.
No, we're not.
No, we're talking about Signs versus The Happening. This
Yeah.
is our wind down, sort of, out of spoopy Halloween month.
Yeah.
With some twisty, although not that twisty, Shyamalan. They're both classic Shyamalan at this point, but one is
for different reasons.
But
yeah.
one is a classic because people are like, "Oh, that's like a good movie I've seen," and the other one is like, "Oh yeah."
You don't have your intros written down. We're putting that in later.
Yeah, I'll do it later.
Okay. So here's where Daniel's.
No, Sean, just
I thought.
no.
Okay.
No.
I thought we'd.
No.
Okay.
No, we just talked about the rounds now.
Right.
Yeah. Sean is obliteratedly high.
Yeah, Sean's very stoned right
So-
now. We did talk
M.
about
Night Shyamalan Day.
So, yeah. See, he's with us though. He knows what day it is. Starting with our first round, let's talk about these movies.
Oh no, wait, I think you're right. We did talk about keeping the announcer stuff.
Yep.
But putting it in before the first round. We didn't talk about talking about it on the podcast though. No, we talked about just segueing into it, leaving it blank. Anyways, we can just skip it. It's fine.
Well, I'll leave a blank spot right here.
Jack's mad.
Yeah.
No, I'm not mad.
You want to talk about anything?
So
Do you really hate the intros that much?
no.
Why didn't you say something earlier, like last season when we were doing it?
Look,
Jack,
just,
can you just sit down?
they
on
don't
the couch
involve
for a minute?
me.
Okay.
I don't have any part in the intro.
Yeah.
I have to do like the weird call to action. It's lame. Okay, no one likes it. Everyone
Yeah.
has to do it for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And I want to be seen more as a scientist type. Okay, so can I talk about story now?
Yeah, let's do it.
So fucking story.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, filler because I gotta set this up.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry.
Oh wow, we fucked this episode, huh?
Yeah, that's
No.
fine. You guys want to start again?
I'm
or-
honestly excited to.
Kinda.
We don't do retakes. I'm excited to hopefully get more Shyamalan on the podcast. Is something I will genuinely say as not even filler, just as real talk. Okay,
Oh hey,
well,
look what we have here.
but whatever, filler over. So I was going to talk about that a bit more.
Oh great, yeah, keep doing it.
Was like I'm so excited to see because he's such a fascinating. I think it's worth mentioning Shyamalan a bit. He's such a fascinating fixture in the film world.
Yeah.
And as much as people mock and laugh him, I also have a lot of respect for M. Night Shyamalan. I hate him a lot for ruining Avatar: The Last Airbender
Sure.
as a live action franchise for decades, until it's tried again. But it's so interesting to see someone who kind of emerged as this young, kind of exciting, kind of
experimental. Ooh, he's the it guy.
and he like was writer, director, producering. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like he was really leading this charge. Like he created a whole thing by himself.
Yeah.
Not, of course not alone, but you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
was many facets of a whole new avenue of filmmaking.
And then he refused to change.
Yeah, or something.
Quite
or,
literally, eh?
Or like
Yeah.
he just had like a couple ideas that were like decent, and then the well dried up, and he was like, a beach that makes you old,
Yeah.
and
Elevator that is evil.
yeah, an evil elevator.
Oh my god, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah,
The
devil. That movie, I remember. Here's a fun fact, actually. I remember I seeing the trailer for Devil, and I was seeing Scott Pilgrim either the first or second time in theaters because it's that good.
Yeah.
And it's also it's the perfect movie going audience to collectively watch the trailer for Devil with. So it was this wonderful moment of a theater. It was pretty busy too. Theaters used to have people in all the seats.
Right.
And watching the trailer, you could tell people were kind of like shifting and watching this thing. They're like, what is this? And then when it finally said from M. Night Shyamalan, the whole theater laughed.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was like a punchline unto itself. So that was a special.
See, he builds community.
He does.
But it must be so hard being him now. knowing that
I don't know about that.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, sure, he's wealthy.
Yeah.
But he's a laughingstock of Hollywood. His
Yeah.
name is directly associated with this punchline of terrible movies and bad twist endings
Yeah.
and predictable stories.
Well, he's getting offered films now, not because the studio trusts they're going to have a bona fide, like, on its own merit hit on their hands. They know they're going to recoup their costs on his film because people are going to ironically hate watch them.
Yeah, like I want to
Yeah.
see Old.
Yeah, I guess I kind of want to see it.
I kind like
After watching that pitch meeting for it, I do want to see it. But it's funny because watching...
versus like The Fountain, like another weird time.
which one was The Fountain?
The one with like Hugh
It's whack.
Jackman. That's
Is that also a Shyamalan?
no.
Oh.
It's like a trippy voyage.
Oh, another like
through
age
time.
movie?
Kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
Fantasy.
we should do Old versus Benjamin Button.
Sure. I don't know if that's a classic, though.
Versus,
I would argue it is.
Versus Jack with Robin Williams. That is about someone aging.
Yes,
too
Jack.
quick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack would be great.
So anyway, but I also like I have a good amount of respect for him for being the person who did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
And-
never giving up.
And like never
Swinging
giving up-
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
swing away. Just in the face of continued like mocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but
Mockery.
also like quit
But
while you're
also,
ahead.
Like
man.
also stop, dude.
Yeah, also stop doing it because you're not good anymore.
Like, because it would be cool. He could do it. He could disappear for 15 years.
Which I think he did. I think he took some time off and then came back
did.
with
Yeah.
maybe Devil actually.
I think Devil was the one he came back with.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
I was going to say he could do a kind of glorious return.
Devil 2.
Well, I was gonna
Devil
say he's like
too.
Sixth Sense 2.
It's an escalator.
Seventh sense.
We're trapped on this never-ending escalator of death. Oh, I see it now.
That's
He
good.
would pitch something like that.
I fucking love it. I'm gonna go see it like 3 weeks after it's opened at like 10 p.m.
Why would you even wait 3 weeks? There's gonna be no crowd.
Well, there might be though. There might be.
But I love movies like that where it's like clearly all shot in one room that they just like change the lights in. You ever
Yeah.
seen Cube? It's a Canadian classic.
I've heard of Cube.
Oh yeah, years ago. We got to do Cube.
Yeah, Cube is great.
Yeah.
The country. So Cuba. So
Okay.
we got it, Jack.
what? What? So round one.
Oh, it sucked.
Oh, okay. Round one. Story.
Good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we watched Schlock first today.
We did.
Which
is
was the
always
right
nice.
call.
It
That
was
was the
I
right
That
think
call.
was the right call.
Yeah.
Absolutely the right call.
Yeah, I think so. Although admittedly, I'll say this right off the bat, the pacing of Signs was such that I was like fully getting heavy eyelids.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Yeah.
When he was talking to his brother about there are two kinds of people.
Yeah.
I
that
was
was a
like-
lot.
Well, it's also a nighttime scene where everything's
Yeah.
super dark.
And they're all sleepy.
Yeah.
And I was like, right on. Let's nap together.
I'm ready. And then you're brought low by his horrifying nihilism.
Yeah, I guess.
Brought back to
I
reality.
mean, Mel Gibson's characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Mel Gibson's horrifying nihilism.
Oh, yeah.
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 And
yeah.
anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Not that.
But I'll say, just generally speaking, of Shyamalan's filmmaking, which is that the issue, and I think this becomes the issue with things more and more, where like his early films, there's a concept, but it's like more fleshed out, like there's more muscle to it, and then as it goes on, it's like they were being made more quickly, so they're just loose, and
So loose.
so loose, but in a way that it manifests as like a small concept, barely stretched out to 90 minutes,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, The Happening kind of... that's exactly what I thought. It kind of reads as like a first draft with a good premise.
Of like a Twilight
Like a Twilight
Zone
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
Both
20
both of
minutes.
these are Twilight Zone episodes. Like signs with the flashback continually jumping to the flashback, and then at the climax of the movie deciding to jump back to a flashback is straight out of like daytime soap opera TV, right? Like at the most pivotal moment, you are robbed of getting your satisfaction by a stupid flashback.
I mean, Shyamalan is nothing if not derivative.
Yeah,
but at least Signs is a more subtle film. It is more of a slow burn, but it's still engaging enough throughout the film that you're there with them at the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The Happening, I mean, they start talking about what the actual like twist of the movie is like halfway through, and by then everyone's already fucking checked out.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is
it's in the first fucking scene, and I hate that movie purely because he thinks he's being clever by writing exactly what's going to happen into like the first scene. And thinks he's getting away with it. The kid straight up's like, it's an act of nature, and there's nothing we can do about it.
We can't explain it.
Yeah,
Oh, right,
about the
right.
bees
Oh, right,
disappearing.
The hot kid in class?
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
like, hey, everyone, I'm a science teacher. Why do you think the bees are dying?
Yeah,
We'll have to do our best Wahlbergs at some point on this.
But we will. Okay. But I was going to come back to that pitch meeting we watched about Old, because we haven't seen Old, but a lot of the stuff they talk about in that pitch meeting, he does in The Happening as well.
Oh, yeah.
He like really awkwardly foreshadows the end of the movie in really clunky dialogue.
Yep.
Very fucking early on. And that's pretty much it. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
that's what he does.
I think one of the big differences that makes it more kind of nuanced, or however we put it with Signs, is that Signs at least has a solid core cast.
Yes,
Yep.
of very
and
very competent people.
Yeah, and
But
it's
so
and
does
it's
The Happening.
Well,
The Happening has a strong cast.
no.
Yes. John Leguizamo.
Mark Wahlberg cannot lead a film. He does not have the
true.
endurance.
That's not
he
true.
He does not have the
He
endurance.
can't lead this. We'll come to that later.
I'm just saying that the story, though, it's more well rooted in the family unit in Signs.
Yeah.
That you care about them, and the movie is really just about them.
Right.
Whereas The Happening is like, and there's this plant guy. Oh yeah, and also like these two youngsters. Oh yeah, and like it's just more
crazy
fractured.
lady in the house.
Yeah, crazy house lady. Now he really has a thing. He likes the image of like the older woman being. It's in all his movies. There's always like an older woman who's kooky and like a non-actor getting her first shot.
Right. Yeah. It's
Wait, who is the old woman in Signs?
I guess there wasn't one in that,
wasn't really
but there's one in Devil. That's like that's the twist
Yeah.
of Devil. Sorry,
She is the devil, right?
She is
right.
the devil, and there's like the woman in Split and stuff.
Can you look up what year the Steven Spielberg War of the Worlds was? Because Signs
Oh yeah.
feels there's a lot of parallels to that movie.
Don't they say it's like War of the Worlds?
They do. They straight up say it at one point, and I wonder if like Shyamalan wanted War of the Worlds and it went to Spielberg, and Shyamalan, or you can clearly tell Shyamalan loves
It's after.
Spielberg. It's
2000
after,
It's
eh?
2005.
Huh.
I thought it was earlier.
War
than
of the
that. I
Worlds
thought
was after?
It traumatized me.
Interesting.
I saw that and it scared the shit out of me.
Interesting. Because it just reminded me a ton of War of the Worlds.
Absolutely.
Well, the story of War of the Worlds
Yeah.
is decades old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like early 1900s. It was written.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a whole radio show and stuff.
So it definitely drew from that source material in Signs.
Yeah,
But
harvesting. Yeah,
yeah.
Right, yeah, as a motive, which is ugh.
yeah, gross.
And also like the totally fucking weak sauce, a basic component of life kills them.
Yeah, they chose the one planet in our solar system that would kill them bad.
Yeah, essentially they came to the water planet.
yeah.
Speaking of the water thing, we never learn what the source of that weird tick is in that girl. It's just a
She's
device
just
to
kooky.
get to leave the water around,
Well,
right?
it's
right, okay.
it is hinted that she is like she has like a foresight of some kind. She keeps saying I dreamt this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so were they trying to kind of hint at that she was
She's an angel.
like planting
Right.
the
The
water?
weird, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they
the
were-
whole religious thing in
yeah.
the movie, which
Right.
is like a bit of a barf show, but
Right.
Yeah, because he was like, you are an angel, so I guess, she is divining God's message and revealing stuff for
she's like
him.
a Joan of Arc type.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're going for. I try to look at that as just faith in general and try not to wrap like Christianity and Catholicism too hard into it.
Right.
But
But it's clearly about that when
Yeah.
they make
It's about-
the central
yeah.
character a priest.
yeah.
A reverend.
A reverend, right? Because he's allowed to get
reverend.
married, so he I guess is
Oh
Protestant.
yeah, he's a Protestant. Then why was someone giving confession?
But also, why was he wearing the priest's garb, the
necktie,
choker, and all that shit?
Yeah.
You know, a very specific sect. He's a Mormon.
Yeah. Hey, he might be.
So
Do Mormons dress like that?
I don't know.
Right.
They
But
wear special underwear.
I kind of agree with you, Sean, and I didn't put when I was watching it, I didn't put too much like of that sauce on it. Like I tried to look at like the daughter's stuff, for example, as just like a strange quirk that is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a fun, very specific choice. And I thought like a lot of the characters had that. Like the son also had some very unique, specific choices made about that character.
Sorry, that was my phone. Somebody was calling me from Welland.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, missed opportunity.
I know.
Yeah.
But his whole like bookworm stuff, where he again would just like say all kinds of facts that he would have read and everything like that. So
This is Wahlberg? Oh, yeah.
no, the son in Signs.
Oh, yeah. Who has the Book of Exposition?
Yes, the exposition book.
Yeah.
With like just the worst drawings. I just couldn't get over that. So yeah, that was a big difference for me. I mean, The Happening. I mean, Zoe Deschanel is not great. Mark Wahlberg is not great. And they're not being helped. Like the dialogue is killing them.
Yeah, the dialogue is clunky. The hot dog speech
I'm
is...
gonna say something to you I should never say to a best friend. Oh, what is it? Like it was.
Right. It reminds me a lot of the VIPs in Squid Game, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't made it that far.
Sorry.
kinda told you.
No spoilers, except for the fact that
Yeah.
this script was clearly translated from a different language
Yeah.
by Google Translate.
Yeah.
That does seem like it.
Yeah. But again, I mean, we'll talk about this in acting, but I feel like it's hard. Like, bad writing is bad writing, and as an actor, your job kind of is to make the best of it.
Yeah.
But when your characters sound like robots, what do you do with that?
Yeah, and
right.
it's tied with like Shyamalan seems to have this idea that his tertiary characters, if he gives them some kind of quirk, we're gonna like them. And he won't have to put much work into like establishing why they're a character. Like the hot dog speech guy
Yeah.
is just like, oh, he likes hot dogs. That's his thing, I guess. Okay. Or who is it in? There's one of them in Signs. There's some absurd. Oh, he comes in with the oven mitt on. One oven mitt on when the cop's there, and there's no explanation for it. He's just wearing like one oven mitt.
Right.
And it's because like, oh, he's frazzled and he's kind of kooky.
Right. But like, it's cheap, but I'll take it.
Sure.
Like I that's the thing I'm gonna come back to, is that I appreciate the like indie vibes that I get off his movies, where it works out, and we'll get to this in production. It can manifest better in like getting creative ideas in terms of how you make the movie. It just manifests in really fucking shitty ways in terms of writing a script. Mm-hmm. Where if he could just consistently write human dialogue, and not even great dialogue, just like dialogue that would
makes sense,
qualify to be like in a commercial,
Yeah.
he would be still a huge success in movies.
Yeah, I would go with that. I mean, and that's that. I think you hit the nail on the head when you have a low budget and you can't produce high production value. Then the compensation is you write good dialogue and write compelling characters, and then people don't really care how good it looks because they're engaged with the story, right?
Yeah.
Like the recruiting agent at the army enlistment thing.
Right.
Why was that a choice? I am gripped by it, but after the scene, I wasn't thinking of like, oh, information has been conveyed to me. I was like, why did that guy speak like that? Mm-hmm. There's no justification.
My hunch is that Shyamalan doesn't actually have any idea how to speak to actors and direct actors. His whole shtick is twist endings and creepy mysterious stories, right? Like that's his whole gimmick.
Yeah.
And that's all he's there to do. I mean, it's kind of evident in both movies that like the actors are not, unless the choices that these actors are making are a direct result of Shyamalan instead of a lack of direction entirely.
Well, I would say like the recruiting guy definitely is like was a choice.
On his part, or on Shyamalan's
on
part.
Shyamalan's part. Things like that.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah,
but-
it does seem like it.
Yeah.
So what you're hearing now is my beautiful partner entering the room with some food for us.
Yay.
I was wondering why you locked the door. I was like, does he think someone's going to attack them?
Yeah, we're afraid of aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah, we watched some vaguely spoopy movies.
Vaguely being the operative.
they
Yeah,
were
very
vaguely
vague.
spoopy.
And okay, so speaking of the twists and speaking of vagaries, Signs is interesting because the twist in Signs is just the water, and it's hardly a twist. It's just like it's just like a confirmation of something that they talked about a bunch. There's no real twist about who's doing this. It's aliens. It's pretty evident pretty early,
right?
In that way, it's not very Shyamalan-esque. This feels like his least, from what I've seen, the least Shyamalani
of the Shyamalans.
the Shyamalans.
But it did feel like he thought that the water reveal was gonna give people a fucking boner. Like,
yeah, a bit.
But
know
they
what I mean?
spoiled
It's
it. Like
barely leaned into.
the director spoiled it.
The director, in
Well,
the movie,
that's
as an
what he
actor,
does.
is like, by the way, water, and then
yeah.
drives off.
yeah, it kind of makes me want to go back and watch The Sixth Sense and see if he drops any hints about the end of the climax of that movie. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay, do you know how it ends? Do you know what the reveal is?
Of which one, sorry?
Of The
Sixth
Sixth
Sense.
Sense.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like that movie's been spoiled for everyone.
Right, but
The boy is a ghost and everyone else is real.
what? No, that's wrong.
No, it's very right.
Okay. Anyways, I would love to go back and see if they give that ending away earlier on in the movie, because it seems to be a trend of his.
Yeah.
Well, I think sixth. That's a hard sixth.
The Sixth
It is hard,
Sense.
yeah, I know.
Sense, Jesus.
Sixth Sense.
From my memory of it, it's actually not too heavy-handed, and that was a movie that it was so famous because the twist was so not
Right.
It's well hidden.
Right.
was so well hidden.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Not
it
just
had that
telegraphed.
rewatch value that you could be like, oh, right, that's what's going on.
Right.
Whereas with The Happening, there is no real like twist. Like there's no sharp turn. It just kind of slowly introduces the idea that like it's plants maybe, and then people in the movie are like, yeah, so I mean, maybe it is the plants for like 45 minutes.
Right.
And then they're like, yeah, I guess it's the plants.
Yeah.
And then the movie's like, yeah, it was the plants.
It was the plans.
Can you imagine being an actor and you read the scene where it's really windy outside and you can't step out in the wind or you'll die, but you and your partner and your adopted child all make the decision together to walk out into the wind and die? Like, what's your motivation? What?
they want to die together because they love each other, Sean.
I know, but like as an actor, you're doing that being like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever done. There's some big wind machine they're just pouring in.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
let's talk about the 45 other scenes where everybody is congregating outside.
The wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like worried about like an airborne
Yeah.
a toxin.
Just driving around with your fucking windows down.
open.
Yep.
Yeah. But just I more feel for the actors when like they're on set shooting and they're just running through a field.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so you're scared of windy grass and go, and that's good enough. I feel like that's his acting quota. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very low still.
I mean, I spent a lot of the time in The Happening wondering how an actor like Mark Wahlberg or Zooey Deschanel or John Leguizamo reads that script and agrees to do it.
So this is the thing. I always wonder, like, in the world, how much it's like, Shyamalan wants to do a new flick, and they're like, oh shit, we know at this point sometimes he has hits and misses, but the hits are hits. You know what I mean? Like, Sixth Sense revitalized, or Unbreakable revitalized. Those both, anyway, made Bruce Willis back into the limelight when he was fading. Like, he can do really good things for actors when they're worried about drifting into obscurity. And I wonder how much of it is, like, not the actual script, but just, like, the pitch of the movie. Like, Shyamalan wants a new thing. It's going to be about how this and this. And they're like, okay, well, maybe this will be a good one, and they sign on, and then they're stuck with it.
Right.
Or the movie studio is like, hey, Leguizamo, you're doing this one, because that shit happens too.
That's true, I guess. And I mean, to your point, I guess arguably, the idea, the premise of the happening is actually, it has potential to be really interesting.
It could be so good if it was like not so random, and if it like it starts with people in Central Park, but like if it started like at it's like a random lumber yard, you know, like it's more of a retaliation of like an intelligent not intelligent, but you know what I mean, where it was like a response. So like driving was bad because it pollutes, and they would run over the plants and grass, and that would, you know what I mean, like
well, I like the idea of it being kind of Mother Earth in general retaliating instead of it just being plants, but it felt like Shyamalan read like a fun fact about plants and the way they react to danger in a textbook, and then that was the end of the writing process.
But take that concept and do that, like that is cool. Like we're saying, like that's a neat movie. I would like to see that. But when it's just like, it's just like, well, it just kind of just kills people wherever. Like the first incidents were in parks and cities. Like I guess
the parks, because it's just wide open fields and greenery, right? There's lots of trees, and that's the idea.
Well, but then like so targeting construction makes sense.
Totally,
because you're perpetuating this nature.
This is a much better film than The Happening.
But it's so close to being there. It starts feeling like that's where it is, and then it just becomes like killing time out in the field.
Like, what did they blow the money on that they could only shoot in a field by the end?
Definitely
the wind?
Effects makeup.
That's definitely the biggest budget line for production
100%.
stuff.
And like dummies to throw off buildings.
Yeah, that was great. The like limp limbs falling down.
I mean, it was a pretty cool idea. Like the scene was actually pretty fucking disturbing.
Oh yeah,
100p.
Great. I honestly, like the beginning of the movie, I was like, oh, this is wicked, and it's more for production reasons that I'll mention, but like. I was like, I can get behind this. It just falls apart essentially
fast.
once we get into Mark Wahlberg as a science teacher.
As soon as Mark Wahlberg tries to lead a movie, the whole thing falls to shit.
Can you imagine if it was led by John Leguizamo instead?
I can.
That's a film.
That's a decent movie.
That's a good film.
It still sucks, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, because he still has to act opposite Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, who is pretty... Anyway, we're getting into it. So...
I want to come back to that, though. I want to recast this movie in acting.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of fun.
It is, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we always have the time. Well, I think that's about wrapping up this round.
Yeah, we got like 25 seconds left. We can call it early if you want. I just want to
No.
Signs not bad. Happening too dumb. So, some of the most classically bad writing you'll hear.
Oh, I will say...
It's barely writing.
I will say the entire subplot of him reliving the trauma of his wife's death felt like it was shoehorned in to give the film some more emotional response or something.
Yeah, I didn't want it.
Yeah,
but
it slowed
it was
down.
It actually still done well, if I'm being honest.
Yes, of course. I'm pinned to the tree.
I don't think she says that.
She does in my mind.
That dialogue was actually quite... Anyway.
What was his name? Was Graham was his name?
Yes. I don't know.
I never
Did we
know.
ever
I
learn
never
his
know
name?
movie characters.
I think it
names.
is Graham.
I think it's Father.
And Meryl is the brother.
Father Graham. And Meryl is... I only know Meryl.
Yeah.
And
Bo.
Bo is the girl.
And Abercrombie.
Yo, and they're
Abercrombie
and then
and
the two
Graham.
dogs that they don't give a fuck
Teresa
about.
and
Isabel.
Isabel.
Are those
Teresa?
saints? Are those saints?
Yeah, must be.
Gross. They
Teresa for sure.
They kill one dog and they're like, well, bury it. And then the next one, they're boarding up their house and like, we forgot the dog outside. Like
Isabel.
you shitty.
But let's be fair.
Alien invasion.
Aliens are outside your fucking barn.
Yeah.
I'm not going outside for the dog.
Yeah.
And
I would try and save the dog. I would think about it.
Yeah, is there a way?
Before I board up
Definitely,
the windows?
you think, is there a way? And you go through all the way, and then you're like, no, there's not.
You're like, no, I hear the thing outside. It's killing my dog.
No,
Sorry,
but like
sorry,
when you're
dog.
beginning the boarding up process, one of the first things I would do is get in that hardy German Shepherd into the house. A German Shepherd is a handy thing to have.
I don't know if that's true.
But the shepherd was acting out, and it was being aggressive. The animals are being aggressive. So if you bring it into the house, it could hurt the small child.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You leave it upstairs. Okay, well, I don't know. On that note,
here's a word from our sponsors.
Here's a word from our dog-hating sponsors.
It's just like poison dog food.
Okay. I want you to know I'm really debating how much hosting energy I should try and put on, and I'm really trying to pull it back. I felt nervous, honestly, coming back this season. I feel like it was like, hey, like, hi, like it was a lot.
Was that 100?
Right there?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not 100.
No. Okay.
No.
What's
Jerry,
what's
there's-
100?
Do we turn it up that high?
No, we can't.
Is
We
it like
can't.
Princess Bride? We turn the machine too high. We lose all of our life force.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, and mainly manifesting as complaints from the neighbors.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be fake. I just want this to be real. I want it to feel like you're just with us around this very nice dining room table.
It's back.
It's a nice table.
You mentioned it last time, I think, right?
Oh yeah, it's a fixture of the podcast now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hashtag
It is one of the
pod
characters.
table.
maybe I'll take a photo and post it to Twitter so you can see this table. It's immaculate.
Oh yeah, I think
Maurice would
that would
kill
probably be
me.
good for the Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just look at it.
Yeah. That's good. It lives a complex life.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that what would make my life is if you gave more like Japanese game show host energy.
Oh, I'm definitely
yeah.
not. You're not
Yeah.
tricking me into doing that.
Steer away from that one.
Yeah, no,
What?
thank you.
Why does that was
I will.
Was
I
that
will
in
be
poor
doing,
taste?
No, I'll be doing European.
Yeah. Jack will do a
style.
white country.
Yeah,
okay? I don't mean imitate a Japanese person. I just mean the energy
yeah,
and the accent.
yeah. There. So let's just leave this behind and get into our second round, which is a production.
He hits the microphone.
Are we
with
not
the
asking if
timer.
it's good anymore?
Is it
I don't
good?
know. Is it?
Production-wise, the movies are the exact same.
Ooh.
Except Signs is a little more.
Yeah, it's better in a lot of ways, I'd say.
Yeah.
There were cool shots in Signs.
Yeah, both films
Yeah.
have very cool shots. But Signs in particular was really nice.
Yeah. There's like nice cinematography.
Yeah.
Like above
yes.
average.
Well, yeah, in terms of cinematography, the one thing I will give kudos to Shyamalan for is he has a tendency to pick atypical frames, which I do appreciate. Sometimes it's a little jarring,
Yeah.
but definitely unique. Like there is if you turn all the sound off and just watch a few frames of a Shyamalan movie, you can usually tell it's from him. Is you know what I mean? Like I'm picking that up from the movies. I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but just there's a lot of similarities in the two that stand out because you don't really see it a lot in other films.
Yeah.
So that's I can't go into specifics. What's happening?
The timer stopped
Oh, why?
2 seconds in.
Probably because you dropped it on your mic.
Right. Sorry about that.
A little bonus time for this round.
That's great.
That's a lot.
That's great. I feel like we have 20 minutes worth of fodder for
Oh, of course.
production.
Yeah. But like things that stood out to me were, I think that one scene I think we all noticed. I mean, I said something about it when it was happening, but that kitchen scene in Signs where it begins with Joaquin in the living room.
Oh, yeah.
In the chair, and the kids are playing by the sink, and Mel walks.
Splashing.
So there's like a foreground, there's a background, and like a midground.
Yeah.
Where Mel Gibson comes in, and like then there's this whole. It's quite a long shot, and it's fantastic.
Yep. And he just processes the fact that there's an alien in his yard.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's one of the shots I'm talking about where it's you see everything in the frame, but Joaquin is like one of his arms is cut off, and he's like cut off at the like just below the neck.
Yeah.
And it's
His
a
lighting,
weird framing.
His lighting is
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
I want to be a fly on the wall when they were like, okay, I want to shoot it through the banisters of the stairs. So we see Mel Gibson in the right of the frame, and through the banisters we see the brother and the two children on the couch. Can you remove one of these posts? And but now the stairs look weird because there's obviously a post missing. Go ahead and make a pattern so that this looks normal, and remove only every second post from the stairwell.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I also even like the moment where I clocked it in the moment too, the random zoom in when they hear their second dog that they don't care about being killed outside.
Yeah.
And it's a totally it's just a sound, and the zoom in is on the wall where it's like where it's clearly outside that wall, but it just zooms into a random part of the wall.
Yeah.
But it made me really focus on the sound that much more. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't,
Right.
It was clear that I wasn't supposed to be looking for something, just listening.
Right.
And it was a really cool thing that I can't remember seeing anywhere else. It was really cool.
Was
Yeah.
it cool?
Really cool. That's
Really
my review. Really cool,
Really
guys.
cool. Really cool. Thumbs up.
Oh, Maurice is stealing more pizza.
Right on.
So I have a love-hate relationship with the sound design from Signs because stuff like that was really interesting. They did a lot of really cool stuff with the baby monitor,
Yep.
Yeah.
and there was
wasn't bad.
some
Score's
really
pretty good.
good. What's that?
I thought the score was pretty good.
Well, see, that was where my issue lied because when there was a score, I thought it was helpful, but kind of what we talked about earlier, where you find yourself nodding off. I think because so much of the movie was silent.
Oh, I love it.
You loved it?
I loved it.
See, I don't think it helped. Like I've talked ad nauseum about the lack of sound,
You love that.
lack of score being a sound choice,
Yeah.
but I don't think there was enough to support it in this movie.
That scene where he's
Yeah.
grabbing the knife and he's holding it under the door. There's no scoring there, and it is like,
Yeah, but that,
Sure,
But
that one
I
particular
kind of hear
scene.
Dan's point though that should have probably been like an outlier.
Yeah.
that would have made that scene really impactful, and it was still good. But like,
maybe.
yeah, I don't know.
Silence builds tension unless most of the movie is silent.
Yeah,
Do you know
but
what I mean?
So much of the soundscape though is the like corn rustling and the flashlights falling and the dogs barking, and like I just feel like
So many falling
allowing the
flashlights.
silence to be there just so we get that external like ethereal background sound is kind of fun.
Yeah, I guess, and I see that being a choice. I just think that use it more seldomly and it'll be more effective.
Right. I'm trying
Because
to
if
remember the
it-
happenings.
Because if it's already a slow burn and a lot of it is super quiet, you get and dark.
Yeah, very dark.
Yeah,
A lot
you
of shadows.
fucking take a nap.
Yeah.
Cool though. When he's
Yeah.
talking on the couch and Mel Gibson's face is half black as he's revealing that he's like totally nihilistic and doesn't believe in anything anymore. Meanwhile, his brother, who's more like optimistic, is like almost illuminated by the TV as well.
Right.
It's super cool.
Yeah, I kind of forget because I was again also falling asleep.
Falling asleep, right? Yeah.
But generally, again, it's nice. Like I really enjoyed this movie visually. I enjoyed it sonically. I thought it was
Emotionally,
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
How did it affect you physically?
Oh, again, sleepy.
Where did it touch you?
Yeah.
Can you show us on this DVD cover where the movie touched you?
Right on the eyelids.
Okay.
But yeah, whereas The Happening. Okay, so The Happening is, as we kind of touched on, almost a cool movie.
Yeah.
There are parts of this, if I could just steal them and Frankenstein them into a new movie, I would be happy to steal them outright. Things like the beginning scene, or couple scenes, I'll say. The Central Park is okay, and the construction scene is amazing. We already talked about that shot of the people walking off the top of the building. Is such a great shot. That's such a memorable shot. And even I love, from just like a physical, like just using people, right? Like I groan about special effects sometimes on the pod, and just when you can do something practically. So just having the people in the park stop and having those shots, and then having a few select people walk backwards, something that they never explain. It's just a byproduct of the chemical reaction that's going on in their brains.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it looks spoopy.
Spoopy.
Spoopy, super spoopy.
And I loved it.
Yep.
Like, I almost wanted just more of that. Not more people just walking backwards.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? It's like John Leguizamo just starts walking backwards as they're all walking forwards, and they're like, "Hey, don't you?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh no, oh no!" And he's like slowly walking backwards. It's happening. It's happening.
Happening.
It's happening.
They do drop that a lot.
A lot. What's
A
happened?
lot. Why is this happening?
Something's happening. Is it the happening?
That happened.
But other than that, I don't know. Was there music in this movie? Was there?
Yeah.
Oh, a ton.
Yeah.
Ton. Oh,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
like too much, I would say.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't. Not so much that it was overwhelming or noticeable, I guess.
There were a few moments where it was definitely a melodrama. It definitely was
100%.
Feel this way. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you need that when you watch a movie with no score and realize that it's flat garbage, right?
I did like in both films, in the opening credits, the score reaches its climactic peak as M. Night Shyamalan's name appears.
And then hard cut.
Yeah, hard cut in the
to
film.
blackout. Yeah, he's a very repetitive filmmaker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The fact that both of those movies open pretty much the exact
credits.
same way,
Yeah.
and they're how many years apart?
Yeah.
The clouds.
Yeah.
Don't forget the clouds.
Have you guys ever watched a really bad Christian movie?
Yes.
Okay, so then you know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what that was.
Yeah. Yeah. That is exactly what that was.
Yeah, even right down to the font. Like, there's some stuff that he does that just feels so amateur.
Mark Wahlberg?
No. That's the hill I'm going to die on in this episode.
I love it.
I really don't think. I mean, I feel for Mark Wahlberg.
From Wahlberg.
From Wahlberg. There you go. But I mean, to your point, I think that the production value is where The Happening kind of excelled in especially in this pairing. I mean, Signs had some beautiful cinematography, but some of the special effects and some of the death scenes, I think that we definitely needed more of that. I mean, even where you watch the guy lie down and get ran over by a lawnmower.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the stuff is really creative.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
a lot
if
of
I
it
was
is
saying that if it shone brighter than Signs. I don't think.
I don't know if I think that it shines brighter than Signs. I haven't really decided yet, but if there was ever a category that it stood out, it would be production.
It's just like in the delivery of the concept itself, The Happening is definitely better, in my opinion.
In the delivery of the well, I mean, I
guess it meaning the content being either the alien component or the freaky tree self-suicide.
They both just kind of fizzle out, though.
Yeah, but the stuff with the actual alien in Signs is like the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, just because the alien looks bad.
It looks bad, and it's clearly just bad, and it's.
But the wind looked great.
No, yeah, the wind is super weak sauce, but the delivery of how people kill themselves in those events were really, you understood the threat. I didn't really understand the threat of the aliens.
Yeah, you just heard that they had the poison gas tube.
That was
a bunch of people died, and it was a strange way to tell that story, because I thought doing it from the perspective of a family locked in their house and not really bearing witness to a lot of the stuff happening was an interesting take on it, as opposed to something like War of the Worlds, for example, where you're watching all the carnage. Yeah. But you need to see something, I guess. They have to, instead of just hearing all of it through the news, which, and again, Shyamalan fucking
Oh my God,
loves.
no more news segments anymore,
Shyamalan fucking loves the news.
No, thank you.
So I don't know. I mean, I almost wish that we didn't see the alien outright in the movie, because the lack of it and just kind of seeing its presence, like just seeing the lights on the TV screen was super effective.
Yeah, and his reflection when he's in the TV screen that was super great.
Totally. Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, I at the time I think that probably would have been a really effective graphic, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it partly is. I think. Yeah, for sure, it's that, but.
Well, it's just that thing too, though, that like things are always scarier until you get a look at them.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's scary because you don't know what's there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the solution there is. I don't know, because I think that to just have them live out the entire story through the radio and not actually experience any of it firsthand is the wrong idea. Mm-hmm. But also the special effects, I guess the budget wasn't where it needed to be to make that scene really work either. So I don't know. So it did kind of fizzle because I think it fizzled because it did such a good job of building up to that point, and then the payoff was weak.
Yeah,
I will say I really liked the detail. I don't know how necessary it was, but I really liked it. And it was weird that it wasn't apparent when we first did the alien on the news broadcast. but we get this detail about how they can change their skin.
Oh yeah,
They can kind of chameleon.
Yeah.
And I loved the detail that on the alien's arm, by where he was, or it was, holding the sun, that some of the pattern from his shirt was bleeding through onto the alien's skin.
Yeah, that was cool. But then is the implication that it is an involuntary action? Why would he
think
choose?
so. I think it's like a passive camouflage reaction.
Because we also she also screamed through his back.
Yeah.
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 Oh right.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Which is
Was
a
that
lot.
screaming through his back, or was that a reflection?
It was, well, again, it was like a it's not really how camouflage works,
Yeah.
but it was more camouflage in the vein of James Bond's car.
Yeah,
where it's
Where
like
it's just
the
like a mirror
cameras-
of its surroundings,
Yeah,
sort of
or
thing.
it's like a projection of the thing in front of it,
Yeah.
Right.
on the other side of it, which is not what it is. But anyway, it was that part was weird, but the pattern on the skin was I thought,
Yeah.
a little touch. I'm just saying, like, the aliens were never scary to me or threatening in any way, whereas the happening was, even though the movie was weak, the scary component of it was more real to me, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Especially having now been kind of on the other side of a pandemic, you're like, it's a mutual experience of not really what they were going through.
Well, and that I also think. I mean, not to say that an alien visitation, isn't possible, but
It hasn't happened, because it has.
I mean, it might have actually happened.
You
but
heard it here first, the very first podcast.
aliens are
to
here.
say aliens are real.
But it's completely feasible that some kind of bioweapon could be constructed that makes you
Yeah.
kill yourself.
Oh, yeah.
In violent ways, right?
Is this where I get to go on a diatribe about how the coronavirus was a Chinese bioweapon?
where you get to?
You heard it here first.
You
on the
heard it here
podcast.
first.
Is that where you're at with that now?
No, it's not.
I mean, who knows? I'm not totally sold on that.
No door closed. No door closed. You know?
Norder closed.
No door closed.
Open,
door.
Open doors, open mind is what I say.
Yeah.
I've never said that
Yeah.
before. Yeah. But I will now.
He's like,
I
answer
like
the
it.
phone.
Open doors.
Like, open doors, open minds. This is Dan.
What am I selling in that scenario?
Just you. Like,
yourself,
That's just your. That's just how you greet people.
I like it.
Let's not call
Hello,
Daniel
Netflix. You're greenlit. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other production things though.
Yeah, gore.
Yeah.
Some fun gore every now and then. Oh, the stabbing in the neck with the
Needle at the beginning.
needle.
That I thought
Gross.
was a misstep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
Really?
well because we don't see any what's the word I'm looking for? There's no after effect. There's no reaction to that moment. It's a hard cut away, so it almost feels like it almost strips that moment of its impact.
Yeah, you get her friend's reaction.
Barely. I don't think we actually did.
But he's still teasing it, you know? He's still just tickling you.
I guess.
I'll definitely say that part wasn't bad for me. I would definitely give minus points for the chain suicide of the gun in the second happening in Philadelphia.
Someone on paper was like, yeah, and then the next person picks up the gun, and we keep the camera on the gun as it falls, and another person picks it up.
Well, just the idea that they're like awake enough that they like see a gun and they're like, oh, I'm gonna start moving now. Dum ba-dum ba-doo ba-doo ba-doo, and they pick it up and they get it. I thought it ended on an interesting shot of the blood just creeping into frame as the next gunshot happens. It was just too silly.
Yes. There's so many silly moments. They kept trying to make Mark a comedic actor in this film, and those scenes were just awful. Whenever, towards the end of the film, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, he has that one thing where he's supposed to. She says, "Are you joking?"
That.
The him in the pharmacy.
Yeah.
I got some coughs here. I didn't have not a hint of a cough.
Yeah.
I almost bought it.
Yeah, there's a lot of little moments like that he doesn't pull off. That's acting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, geez, Sean.
You really hate Mark Wahlberg.
I don't
get there
I mean,
soon enough.
Murderer Mark Wahlberg. I just don't really care. You know.
Murderer Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, he killed a guy back in the 90s. Stomped on his face real bad.
That's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
He stomped a guy to death.
Like a hate crime, was it?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Is it for real?
For real.
How did he get out of that one?
I think he was already famous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was already in that rap group.
They're a pop
Wahlberg,
group.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
No, fucking. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm so glad that I can't remember the name. I want you to know. Fuck the rest of this category. I have since tried. Every once in a while, it crosses my mind. Miyu Madness, and
Right.
I can only think of her as like Lorpy Lop Lop. Like I don't remember.
Luffy Lump Lump? Yeah.
I don't know her name.
I can't remember it either.
Don't try to remember it.
Don't try and remember
Don't you
it.
do this,
dude,
Tim.
I
She
couldn't if I tried.
She is Lulu Limlau.
Lindsay Limperdoodle.
Are we talking
Oh,
about
I
the,
just
the
remembered
actor's
it.
name or
the
the
actor's
character's
name. Yeah, I just remembered it. Damn it. I'm not going to say it, though.
You better not.
I want to hear more about the story of Mark Wahlberg's hate crime.
When we take our next ad break.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it can happen off camera.
I mean, you can look it up, I guess, or one of you.
Or you could just tell me
and I'll
about it.
vamp. I don't. I'm not an expert. I just know it happened.
What do you?
It-
Yeah.
Was he able to like get off on was he able to plead not guilty or did he serve time or
I don't know.
That's fucked because normally you hear about people who kill somebody accidentally and getting off, but he
Yeah,
fucking
he straight up stomped his head in.
murdered him.
Yeah.
Was it
Boston, baby.
attempted murder?
Oh,
wait.
did the guy almost live?
I mean, he's a vegetable now, but
Yeah.
And this.
did he? Well, if he lived, it's attempted murder. If he
Yeah.
almost lived, he'd still murder.
I mean, there's an article here called "The Full List of Mark Wahlberg's Racist Hate Crimes."
Oh no!
Yeah, we got some reading to do, I
Mark.
think.
He pled guilty.
I've defended him
2
so many
years
times.
Oof.
at something. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's why it's always a bit of a thing where it's like, how is he still making movies?
I mean, we got Mel Gibson in the other one, too. So
Yeah.
we really picked a couple of bangers.
Well, this is where we see too that there are going to be some people in these movies that you wonder how they did them, and it's like, well, these people all needed eventually you need a movie. The phone call doesn't ring as much. Bruce Willis has been really open about that. He's like, eventually the phone calls just stop coming. And so when Shyamalan's like, you want to do this thing? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, but the happening happened when? 2004,
I think.
I mean, we're talking kind of like the peak of Wahlberg's career. I don't think it's as a matter of.
Was it?
Well, he certainly wasn't washed up yet. I mean, he's still making movies now. He's been in high demand for years.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well,
So
This-
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
All I'll
we
say
could-
is, I thought
He's a science teacher.
he's a science teacher.
He knows science.
The layout of that science room also pissed me off too, and
Why?
his sweater vest.
Well, yeah, he can't wear those clothes. He's
No.
not a leading man.
He
uh,
should he just should have been in basketball shorts still, and like a loose.
They've been
tee.
like, yo, you can call me Teach.
Like he should have a really big chest and somehow still be wearing like an overly sized shirt.
I would have loved if we got jacked Wahlberg in this movie.
He's not jacked. He's the smallest I've ever seen him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's quite small. His shoulders are tiny.
That's exactly where I wanted to end this round and every round.
His shoulders are tiny.
His shoulders are tiny.
His shoulders are tiny.
My dress is caught. So let's go into our third round, which is get ready this one right away.
Dude, I'm always ready.
Is acting, huh?
Thanks,
See, that was
thanks
just
to
like
Tim Allen.
that was a touch of Japanese announcer without any
A little bit.
accent. Huh? Like that's the kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a Tim Allen.
That's like the fully Americanized version of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I liked it.
That's a translation of. Anyway.
That works for me. Okay,
So
acting. Here
Sean,
we go,
points
Sean.
on acting.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg isn't a leading man. Just gonna say it. I've never found him to be able to carry a movie.
What about the fighter?
Come
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with your language.
What about
'cause
Boogie Nights?
I don't think a leading man is a thing, but
He's someone who's
fails
capable
to
of
lead.
holding a movie.
Boogie Nights.
But like that's held together by the surrounding cast.
No, that's bullshit. That's
Ah.
bullshit. Well, but what is a leading man except for the
Someone
character
who can
that?
take a movie and keep it
No, man,
running.
dude. The leading man character historically is the guy that shit happens to. The supporting characters.
Yeah, but
keep the
he
movie
has to
afloat.
carry it. He has to carry the film.
He absolutely carries most movies he's in. Have you seen the other guys?
Yeah, he and
You
Will
love the
Ferrell.
other guys.
I love that movie. He and Will Ferrell share that load, and Michael Keaton
Load.
when it hits its like start. When that movie hits its start of the third act lull,
Giggle.
Michael Keaton comes in to knock it out of the park. So like he's getting a lot of help from the bullpen.
Look,
in that film.
This conversation aside, because I think we're already getting sidetracked. He just fails to lead this movie.
Yeah.
Right, but
There's hardly a movie there. But
that's the thing. So let's look at the cast of this movie.
okay,
Zoe Deschanel.
boo.
I mean, she's fine. She's fine whatever she does, but she's a capable personality. I won't even really say actor. She's a capable personality on screen. John Leguizamo, who is a strong actor, I think we can all agree.
Yeah. Very, very good.
And Mark Wahlberg, who
is on film a lot.
Who is on
Who has definitely been on camera before.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience being on one side of a camera.
Look, he's been in some pretty great movies.
He sure has.
He's no Donnie Wahlberg.
No.
That is true. He is no Donnie Wahlberg.
I mean, have you seen Saw 2? So
was he in Saw 2?
He's the lead.
Have you seen him in Sixth Sense?
He's the guy at the beginning.
Phenomenal.
Right?
In that movie.
I don't really remember it, but
so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think I will circle back to the point I made earlier. When you have a garbage fucking script, and like there's bad writing, and then there's like non-writing.
Yeah.
There's like story beats.
Yeah.
Which is what where I think this movie ended. There's like
Correct.
You just jot down your first idea to get the ideas on paper. You don't really worry about making it sound natural. You just like get thoughts down.
Yeah.
And that's what was handed to these guys. So what do you do with that? It's gonna be garbage, but it's not the actor's fault necessarily.
I mean, I want to argue that a little bit.
Please.
Just meaning that, like, that in my opinion, good actors can kind of make anything work.
Okay.
That being said, it's different if the time allowed to make it work is a huge factor. So you have the extremely jilted, even like Leguizamo doesn't come out sounding good.
Yeah.
In that first scene where they're like coming out of the school or whatever and they're chatting together.
I'm a math teacher.
It's just you want some percentages?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, dude.
It's bad. So if they only got those, maybe those were the updated sides, and they got them that morning, which happens all the time. I know on film sets, all kinds of things where they get their like, they don't have time to rehearse the lines. They get them when they arrive on set, or they've changed, and all this stuff happens. So you can't just be magic. Acting isn't magic, which I think is kind of your point.
To his credit, I think my favorite part of the film is when Mark discovers his scientist powers and is able to think really fast under pressure and solve it with theories.
But he doesn't. Everyone's going.
Yeah, he panics at first.
Everyone's like, "Tell us what to do, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Tell us what to do." And he's like, "Just shut up and let
I'm
me
a scientist. Gotta think.
Gotta think." And then he does that.
Like
and
Winnie the Pooh.
It's like this close up, this close up thing on his face, like he's about to say something, and then he just turns and goes, "Maybe it is the plants."
Yeah.
Like he has no new idea from it. He has a maybe.
Yeah, and that's when his superpower of science kicks in to save the day.
That's it.
Yeah, it only comes out when he's panicking.
Yeah.
My favorite moment is when the crazy old lady out in the woods is in her nightie, and she's like, "I hear you whispering. You plotting to steal my things? You're gonna kill me in my sleep?" And he goes, "I'll try to do my best delivery, my best version of this delivery." What? No. Like, not overly. Like, it was shot on a different day.
I think there was a bunch of ADR. It felt like there was a lot of ADR in certain scenes.
Oh, I think for sure.
Yeah.
Too indie.
Yeah, too indie. That's true. Oh, that's fucking true. Those wind machines must have been so loud.
I guess so. Or they just waited for the wind to blow.
No.
I kind of love Shyamalan for getting away with the fact that he built a movie around a premise where he can just film trees and grass blowing in the wind, and he's like, "Yeah, that's the villain."
Yeah. He poops.
That's fucking ballsy as
well,
shit.
how about Shyamalan as an actor then, huh?
Not bad.
Not bad.
I didn't think he was bad.
You mean in Signs?
Yeah.
In particular?
Yeah.
Or the voice of Joey?
Oh, the voice of Joey, like Oscar bait right there.
Oscar bait.
We had tiramisu, and that's it.
But, yeah.
No, stupid.
But I thought, I mean, Shyamalan can hang
Yeah, he held
with
his
stuff
own.
that he's written
Yes.
and stuff he's directing.
Yeah.
He had a
And-
bit of blood randomly on him somewhere. That was just anyway, not how
Was that
blood
because
works.
he had
He
been
fought the
attacked by
alien,
the
yeah.
alien? Right.
Yeah, but anyway, it was weird. So was it alien blood? Or
It was his
No,
blood.
it's his blood. I think he got injured.
He was dying.
He was dying.
Huh.
He was dying?
I don't know. It seemed like a mortal wound.
Oh, I thought I didn't look like that much blood.
It was pooling.
That's production's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like clearly on the outside of his jacket. Anyway, I thought he was fine. I agree.
Yeah.
I thought he did fine. I thought the his police officer friend was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
she
yeah, she was dope.
Great.
Yeah.
He was really
She
good.
was really very good. I thought Joaquin was fine.
Yeah.
You know, he has a medium role in the movie.
He plays a lovable, well, almost lovable idiot,
Yeah.
you know? And he does it well. I'm like, I don't want to be your friend.
It's tricky when he was like the part reads as some like Biff
Yeah.
from Death of a Salesman type former athlete.
Who starts reading a pamphlet from the recruitment office and then 4 hours later is still trying to make his way through the pamphlet.
Yeah, from like small town America.
Yeah.
And Joaquin isn't quite the casting for me for that character.
No.
I thought it made it work. I mean, it was young Joaquin before
Yeah, he made
was
it work.
like
I'm just
Joker.
saying. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, Joker's a better fit.
Yeah.
He should be like losing his mind. He didn't have a chance to like
is.
scream and like lick his own face somehow.
That's true. But can we all agree, though, that the standout of both films is, what's her name? The little girl?
Abigail Breslin?
I mean, and the kids, and Rory Culkin. The
Rory
kids,
Culkin
the kids
was
were,
good.
The kids
Yeah.
were really good.
Yeah, they were. But
were good.
she was a standout for me. 'Cause it's hard to get that, to get that kind of range and specificity out of, what I have to imagine is like a 5-year-old? 6, maybe?
Yeah, however old she is there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, the kids are great, and
So cute.
Mel is good.
Mel is very, very good.
That's
in
a
this
leading
film.
man right there, eh, Sean?
I mean, from a purely technical point of view, yes.
No hate crimes there too.
When did he go on his racist
It was
tirade?
a few years after Signs.
Was it
I
a few
think.
years after?
Yeah, yeah.
Once the phone had stopped ringing?
Yeah, once the beard
Essentially,
grew
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Hey, well, now he's back in Hollywood. We accepted him back.
Yep.
Open arms.
Oscar bait.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait for his Oscar when they give him his Oscar, and everyone's like, he's deserved this for many years.
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
a movie
I think
that-
there are some high ups in Hollywood who will never forget.
Did he
that
win for
happened.
Braveheart?
He did.
He did. Okay,
Did
so
he?
his next
I'm
Oscar.
pretty sure he did.
And he was nominated for Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
No, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
I think
Yeah,
he
he
was.
was.
I think
For
he was.
director?
For
Yeah.
director, yeah.
That movie is such dog shit.
Well, it's
Yeah,
Oscar
but it was
bait.
American
Oh,
military. So.
Yeah.
I feel like 5 years from now, he wins an Oscar for Best Director
Yeah.
on a movie that is starring Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
That is
It's-
where I see the world going.
Yeah, it's still Clint Eastwood and him being nominated
Yeah.
for Best Director.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
Alec
or
Baldwin.
the rest of the category is just all like women of color,
Yeah.
and then he wins.
Yeah.
For a movie starring Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. there
Produced
it
by
is.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, somehow in
From
memoriam.
jail.
It was
Yeah.
like
Is he dead?
he'll be dead by then,
Oh yeah.
and it'll be from like the Harvey Weinstein Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ah, what a beautiful place Hollywood is.
Yeah.
Acting.
But Mel is fine. I thought Mel was good.
Yep.
There's something about Mel Gibson that just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of like how
I
his
think a lot of
eyes
people
bulge
think-
out of his head and his neck turns red.
Yeah.
How like he's eaten way too much red
Blotchy.
meat in his life.
You know,
Yeah.
he has that thing where he kind of like he's grumbling like when he gets worried, and I don't know, I dig it. Like it
don't
worked
know,
from
man.
Lethal Weapon through Braveheart all the way to this.
So his acting style, I think, works really well for stuff like Lethal Weapon or Braveheart. But for a man of his
what women want.
Yeah.
that is where I first took issue with him, because for a man of his stature and his age and like weathered features, he's so cartoony. He's a pretty big
He's
Oh,
a
he's
big
a
guy.
face
big
actor.
actor. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I thought his scene with his son where he's having the asthma attack was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, that was good.
Like he always plays things really intensely, which is better than, well, not always, but I don't want to say something too general, but it works. It works when he does it. Like I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know.
He wants it to be a show or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't buy into the Gibson thing.
That's fine.
I don't know what it is.
That's really fine.
Yeah, I mean, I want to.
Yeah.
I think he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I want to get on.
It's
side
about
with
time
him.
that we welcomed him back
I think. I mean, we already have
into the fold.
We already have.
Yeah, Daddy's Home too.
I didn't hate that movie.
And so, what's the deal with the Culkin family? So, is Rory Culkin a brother to Macaulay?
I believe so.
And there's another Culkin too.
Kieran Culkin, who's
Kieran,
in
who
Succession.
was like the most successful one of the family at this point.
Yes, by
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's really good.
amazing in Scott Pilgrim.
He's
Yeah,
so
and
good.
he was great in Succession too. He's
Oh my
he's
God,
like a
yeah.
bona fide actor.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So so how much younger is Rory than like Macaulay?
He's what, like 8 or 9?
And Macaulay must have been.
Macaulay was 6 in 1988. So
Is
he's
that
like
when Home Alone
He's like
came out?
12 years older.
so.
than-
It was when it was
I guess
made.
Right.
that happens.
Yep.
Like 12
Yeah.
years older. And so,
Got to keep making babies to make Hollywood money.
but that's the thing. Then I'm
Just
like,
ask the
how-
Baldwins.
Yeah. How fucked is that family then?
Oh, totally fucked.
So they were like truly doing what you're talking about. They were just having kids to push into film.
Maybe
Were the
I
Culkins producers or something.
I won't
Like,
cast any aspersions on the Culkin family. I don't know.
I will. What are you doing?
Maybe they all got bit by the same bug.
Yeah, maybe they always maybe the younger ones saw Macaulay's success.
Maybe
No, but that 6-year-old would have seen 18-year-old Macaulay, who was not
a healthy person at
no,
that time.
he's
Right.
barely a healthy person now.
Yeah.
Right. But Kieran was already falling behind in his footsteps, and he was having more luck and less drug addiction.
I don't know that Kieran. I think Rory got into it sooner than Kieran.
What has Rory done since though? I haven't seen.
But I'm saying this is 2004. When
Yeah.
did we first see Kieran? For me, it's
Oh, I
Scott
don't know.
Pilgrim.
Yeah, it would have been like a few years after that. Yeah.
So
Kieran's older.
Kieran's older,
Yeah.
but you can't.
But for
say
sure, he
that-
was doing stuff before he got cast in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
He didn't just get cast in a fucking
well.
huge
I mean, I
feature
guess
film.
so, but I'm just saying, like,
There is the internet.
yeah, but we don't know how to use that.
We'll look it up at the break.
Anyway, blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah,
It
the
is
Culkins.
weird how much he looks like his brothers. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not weird; he's brother, but
It's like their brothers.
Just strong fucking eye genes, man.
strong eye genes and like cowlicks.
Yeah.
Great
Crazy
cowlicks.
cowlicks.
I think the standout in The Happening is the old lady in the cabin.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
in the Woods house. Yeah.
There, something,
Yeah, she's chewing some fucking walls in that
Oh, yeah.
scene. But
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Her crazy,
She's giving her.
random.
Get
you mentioned
out!
Sean. You're kind of right that about this thing of giving characters a random thing, and how
Yeah.
her thing is that she has a doll dressed like a
Yeah.
young woman in a bed full of religious paraphernalia.
yeah, they never explain that, do
No,
they?
that's
No.
just her quirk.
Yeah.
Who needs a character when you can give them a quirk?
Yep.
Or like a fucked up thing in their house. But one thing that benefits Signs, and I think I kind of touched on this before, but how it's really focused on that family unit. That's it, and there's like the one cop friend, and that's
Yeah.
done. The Happening suffers from like what happens in other Shyamalan movies, where it's clearly a budget thing or whatever. There's a bunch of people who it's like they've never acted before. It's like extras who like they were said, who feels comfortable reading lines, and an extra was like, oh, I do, and they're like, well, congratulations, you're gonna get an extra $500 today, and they get them just to say stuff. We were laughing at the very beginning.
Yeah,
when,
yeah.
What is it? It's like,
Everyone's
it's like a
reaction.
news report, right? They're all watching. Or
Yeah.
no, it's like the principal is talking to the faculty.
Yeah,
of teachers,
and the
they're
group
like,
is
there's-
behind them.
There's an
Yeah.
attack. There's a terrorist attack on New York, and there's a dude right up front who is just passively looking next to him, like, well, huh?
Like as if he was kind of like about to say, "Oh, do you know when lunch is?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm supposed to. My pension's kicking in soon, so
Yeah.
I'm not. This isn't.
What a pickle.
And so The Happening is full of people who get to speak and do things that are close to non-actors
yeah.
than they are to actors, I would argue. Maybe that's being.
But it was
mean.
hilarious.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny, but it's making your movie dumb. It doesn't help when the core actors aren't really doing stuff that's a whole lot better. Shout out to Victoria Clark.
Oh yeah, hey, you
was-
worked with that person.
I did work with that person.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And she's a fucking incredible actor too. She had one line delivery that was pretty good, where she came back. She was clearly concerned, talking about how there's people back that way too that have also been dying.
Yep, that was at the Crossroads.
At the Crossroads, the dude from Succession.
Yeah,
And
two
Ferris
dudes.
Bueller.
Yeah, two
He
dudes
was good
in that film.
actually, as the
the
very
soldier.
nervous young army private.
Yeah,
Right.
who like
And his
got
physical-
it together and was like leading this group.
Yeah.
It was like he did have a character arc, and yes, his they gave him the thing of like, oh, you're nervous, but like he also, like, I wonder if that was his choice to show the progression from like complete nervousness to actually like taking charge and like
Probably.
yeah,
Probably a smart actor.
yeah,
And his death,
yeah,
again, made me kind of fearful of the, not genuinely scared, but like it.
no,
it-
you don't like the wind. We understand.
You know, like I don't like the wind's scary.
Yeah, scary wind.
It bangs branches against my windies. But his death reiterated the kind of creepiness of the event and how, which is something that unfortunately I think not all the actors could do well, but he did it very well. Like
Yes.
if everyone did it like he did it, it would have been a very spooky movie.
Right.
Yeah,
And I like that it was kind of casual. Like I thought the people who did have to kill themselves was at least uniform. That it was always like their brain turned off, and then they just like slowly went about their business. Was kind of creepy. I like that it wasn't this rampant. Because it's taken.
Frantic
If any of
thing.
you watched Bird Box that Netflix put out, it's the same thing, but it is alien or something. So they're
Right.
like it's a copy of
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place and Signs.
Okay.
So, or not Signs, of The Happening. So, essentially, when they see one of these beings in Bird Box, it makes them kill themselves.
Gotcha.
But it's
So they're all going around blind.
but it's like more aggressive. They'll
Gotcha.
like that kind of thing. Whereas I did like in this one that it's like a guy casually lies down under a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Like that's
Blech.
a spooky choice.
Yeah. Oh, that was a spooky image. I didn't think they'd stay so long.
I thought for sure they were gonna cut away.
And then he didn't. It was
didn't.
effective.
It was effective. I thought the performance also of the construction worker.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great.
I loved that.
I thought he was
loved
great.
it when he calls in the first guy, and it's anybody else, not anybody else, but typically an actor reads those lines, and it's just a frantic panic.
Yeah.
And it's so understated, so kind of like subdued and internal. I thought he was fantastic.
I thought from the first moment that he turned and just said the coworker's name.
Yeah. And then there was another one. Yeah, Derek. He's like, Derek?
You know,
Yeah.
and clearly, and I was like, oh, this guy's good.
Yeah.
You
You're
can
like,
tell.
oh, you know him and you're friends, and now he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there was excitement on set filming that sequence. And so he got direction, he got to prepare.
Yeah.
That scene was
It was the
very
B
thought
crew,
out.
probably.
The lines were like sent to him ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, probably a B crew.
Yeah, it was a
exactly.
really innovative B crew who are like, we're going to make it in this industry.
Yeah.
Let's
and
show him.
So that definitely showed. He was honestly a highlight in all movies. I thought he was really good. Really small moment from a no-name actor. And I'm giving you big props on our
Well, he's
small,
got a
no-name
name, and
podcast.
his name is Hank Hill. Hank Hill.
We're gonna get sued for that one, aren't we?
Yeah,
I
I
mean, you
think
did the
so.
South Park reference earlier.
Yeah.
Which one?
This is Netflix. You've been doing that.
I didn't say who it was from though. Only the really astute listeners would catch that one.
Yeah, but Hank Hill's a name that can exist.
And does.
It's true.
Well,
In real life.
Well, enjoy these ads. Bye. For a second. Yo. That's how's that one?
yeah,
Huh?
meh.
Okay.
Again, just bring us back without any, but no mustard on it.
All right. Okay. Let's pretend that we're coming back from the ad. Sean, can
That's how I kept getting erections. Gardas Hill. I don't know.
Hi. Welcome back to the podcast.
That's for sure what we're coming back to, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that better though? Like that true no mustard, barely any vocal energy.
That is good. I do like the coming back halfway through a fake conversation.
Yeah.
Just finishing like I love it.
Faded in.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, didn't
see
hear
you
you
there.
there. No, I hear it's a podcast. I hear them. Okay, so let's go into our fourth round, which is a shorter round, but it's a shorter thing altogether. Rewatchability.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say both are pretty rewatchable.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made for each.
Yes.
What would you say some of them are? Sean?
Well, I would say that The Happening, while complete gobbledygook from start to finish, is an entertaining gobbledygook and would make for a nice light, lightly spoopy evening of entertainment. Whereas Signs has legitimate drama, and if you were more in for something that's gonna grip you in a more like natural, organic way, then Signs is the movie for you.
But do you think that Signs is as effective on a rewatch? Like you've seen it before.
It now like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
And yeah, there were still things that I haven't seen it in 2 years now, probably. But like, I was spooked by some of the stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think for me, if I find a movie really effective, and not just good in terms of, quality characters or a good story, but if the point of the movie is to be suspenseful and spoopy as Signs is, it loses its impact on the second watch. You know what I mean? So I think for me, The Happening is probably the more rewatchable because of how genuinely bad it is. This is, I mean, I forgot.
It is very fun to see some of the line readings.
It is very fun. It is
What?
it is like Room-esque. No. You know what I mean? Like it definitely, the dialogue of this movie is some of the clunkiest I've ever.
It has a bit of
Super
it
clunky.
already has. Honestly, I've heard of The Happening because of its reputation.
Yeah.
Like it has a reputation.
Yeah. And I think in that way, it makes it a fun rewatch because you can chill your friends, you can have fun drinking games.
Yeah,
There's more fun to be.
Oh
had.
yeah, I get fucked up to this film for
There you
sure,
go.
but I would also get fucked up to Signs.
That would be a less fun.
I would
that's
get
just
fucked
more
up to
you,
Barney,
Sean.
the Barney like
Yeah.
motion
Yeah,
picture or whatever.
that's-
That's true.
Maybe something that we need to
I'd
help
get
you with
fucked up
after
to
the
the news.
podcast. But I think what I struggle with The Happening, like I would rewatch Signs, like I would rewatch a movie that is a good movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be it. And I think, again, I've said this multiple times. I think The Happening is, I like the premise a lot. But it mostly bothers me because I see how it like could have been a better premise. This could be a movie where like, much like I think there was a rewatchability aspect of Sixth Sense, where people could go back and watch it and go, oh my God, when this happened, this was going on and this was going on. And you can do that. And you can see where these hints were dropped. That isn't even in The Happening, which feels like a movie that it should be in. Like this should be a movie where you realize the relation to plants, to these characters and yada, yada, yada. Like it just could have been good and it could have been more nuanced.
Sure.
And because I like the premise. So I mostly I'm kind of bothered by the waste of a decent premise.
Sure, like Avatar.
Like, that's not even a decent premise. That's an amazing premise.
But don't you think that somewhere down the line, maybe even in the near future, having seen the movie now, it is something that you will want to introduce people to sheerly for its poor quality?
I think there are other movies that I would introduce first. If I'm being honest, like
Really?
other shit movies that I'd be
Sure.
like, you need to watch Iron Sky. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I just
I would
got-
do this over Iron Sky. Iron Sky is a different
Yeah,
kind of
Iron
bad.
Sky was
I don't
not.
know.
Yeah, but the Happening just doesn't seem like. There's no character to it. It is a gray movie from start to finish. So I'm probably not going to remember very much of it in a year, to be honest. Other than some of the visuals, probably.
Maybe. I have a feeling that you'll remember you'll remember the essence of the movie. You'll remember how it made you feel.
I didn't feel anything. That
Well,
was the
that's 'cause-
thing. I'm dead inside. I know. Yeah.
You said it, not me, man. Yeah.
You're not dead inside. Your insides are dying.
My insides are dying. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm. It's not super strong for either. So it's not like a clear-cut thing, but I'm kind of frustrated at that wasted opportunity.
Well, that's
Fair enough.
With the happening.
Well, I guess we'll find out how we all vote.
Oh, it didn't go off.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks.
You're a Foley artist.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I'm driving in the car, and the window's down.
Yep. Oh, don't do that.
I'm waiting for
The grass is
That
angry.
you're supposed to be
I'm
doing.
waiting for your
Oh,
Foley.
sorry, okay,
Oh, you're
okay.
fired. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay, sorry.
We don't have time for people who waste studio money.
You didn't give me a cue.
Nope.
Sean,
Sorry.
Sean threw you this like nugget of like, let's play this bit now.
I want to do the bit. I want
And
to do
you
the
were
bit.
like
No,
nodding
no,
and smiling into the mic.
no, come back. I want to do the bit. I want to have fun.
I stopped the car. All right.
Because he hears his kettle boiling.
Because my kettle, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really, really respectable kettle.
But then my child is trapped in the oven. It's a very soundproof oven. It's better.
Yeah.
And then a kangaroo doctor arrives to help out.
Hello, I'm a doctor.
Where's the bouncing? Okay. We'll call you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have my agent's number?
No,
Okay, great.
Bye.
Thank you for your time.
not that door.
Oh, sorry.
Please stop miming doors. Okay, so let's give some scores and then we'll drop our wild card. So, starting with story. I kind of already. I'm gonna start because I know I get it, guys. I get
Yeah,
it.
you're doing your penance.
I'm serving my time like Mark Wahlberg almost did. So, I like Signs. I think there's good stuff in it. Even though I think it wasn't executed well, I'm going with a Dan kind of thing in that I like the premise of the happening better. I think Aliens is a bit simplistic. I don't love the integration of what is kind of core, the faith thing. I guess I'm just a nihilist that I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
That I'm like, no, that's just where you're at, okay? You're just seeing...
You're just grieving.
I don't like a movie that's concluding narrative, like, point
Yeah.
is, no, like, there is a pattern.
is a God.
Like, you aren't crazy.
Sure. Again, faith. You look for these signs. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm against that.
Yeah.
I'm against that.
that's fine.
So, and I like the premise of the happening more. So my point is for the happening. Unless someone wants to fucking debate me on that or something.
Well, no, I mean, I am a sucker for a premise. I also kind of want to give the point to the happening just because I also have such a strong disdain for Christianity. But yeah, I mean, I agree. More interesting kernel in the happening. The Signs is kind of just like aliens are there. And this guy is a priest. So the happening gets my vote.
Signs is my vote. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the happening is terrible. And
Terrible, yes. Absolutely.
And
You're
terrible.
just saying that because of the script,
Yeah.
and the acting,
Yeah.
and its poor choice of uninteresting shots,
Yeah.
and yeah, the typical
yeah,
Sean.
Yeah, I know. Wild. Well, I guess the happening won that one.
Sure did.
A lot of trees around both of you guys. Just wondering about that. But
I love trees. They wouldn't want to hurt me. I've been good to them.
Yeah,
I want to believe.
better.
Production.
Ooh.
Signs.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Signs. It's a better shot. Way better shot. More interesting to look at.
Better silence too.
Way better silence.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
better cinematography, maybe.
Totally.
Maybe. Better special effects definitely goes to the happening.
Sure. For the lawnmower.
No, even just for the prosthetics, even for the practical effects they use, like that woman smashing her face through the window. Pretty,
Yeah, it was cool.
pretty effective.
The second one is more clearly a dummy. It's quite funny.
100%,
Clearly,
yeah.
like this like limp head.
But there was some really well executed practical stuff in the happening. I don't know. What are you saying, Jack?
I'm Signs.
Your signs?
to kill any tension in this.
Okay, so then it doesn't matter what I say.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it would have been interesting if maybe you voted for the happening. But it's
Right, I know.
Yeah.
I panicked, but I think I have to go with the happening.
Okay.
that's okay. It's weird.
It is.
That,
But
yeah.
it doesn't. It also is inconsequential. So
Yes.
Well, it
That's
wasn't
democracy,
until I
baby.
said something.
there you go. My vote doesn't matter.
I mean, there were a couple really amazing shots, in my opinion, in Signs.
Yeah.
yeah, but a couple of amazing shots.
Oh, there were a lot of amazing shots.
There were a lot of amazing
Yeah.
shots.
I don't know if there's a lot of
There
amazing
were a lot
shots.
of amazing
No,
shots.
I liked lots. I like the I remember
Amazing
I liked
shots,
the big
a lot of
red
amazing
tree out
shots.
by the house.
I don't know.
I thought there was
man.
a lot of really good stuff.
There was some pretty shots. I don't know if there's a lot of amazing shots in
a lot
Signs.
of great, well framed, well thought out shots that enhanced what our experience was, and also the character journey that was occurring on screen.
Yeah, even now, okay, you got a bit
Yeah.
eye rolly at the end there.
Yeah.
I agree with Dan's face.
Thanks.
Just at the end.
Okay, that's fair.
Acting.
Signs.
The one with the acting in it.
Love it.
Rewatchability.
I mean, I kind of already gave my vote. Signs, I think, is a better. Signs is a better watch, a better first watch.
Right.
I think that Happening is a better rewatch.
Okay.
Because I'm more likely to rewatch. I don't even know if it's a better rewatch, but I'm more likely to rewatch it because it has more rewatchability.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Not really.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it does.
I'm
I have
ju-
faith that it makes
I mean,
sense.
I will rewatch Signs if it's on TV and I happen to flip past the channel.
Totally.
I'll sit and watch it.
put it on.
Cable?
No, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
I'm
If
streaming.
I walk
on the
into
internet.
if I walk into a room and Marissa's watching Signs,
Yeah.
I will sit and watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I will actively introduce my
Does she
friends.
have cable?
Fuck, I don't know, maybe. But I will actively introduce people I know to the Happening
All right. Well,
and happily watch it with them.
then I'm Signs to build tension towards Jack.
There you go.
I'm definitely Signs. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let the tension build, and I'm Signs.
Ooh, Signs sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
Oh,
Is that a secured win?
it is.
It is
Signs?
at the
It's-
moment.
it's-
Evie. Evie's voting. Evie's voting for the Happening.
Oh, Evie's not happy with this at all.
Yeah.
What?
You have to isolate that audio and
Yeah.
enhance it.
Wow. This is the part where the dog.
so-
My dog is angry at
So
me.
Dan, just for fun,
Just for fun.
what's our wild card round
Man,
this
I
time?
love when my part doesn't matter. Okay, so it's we're 20 years in the future.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
2041.
There's a story here.
There's a story here. You guys both have one child each,
Nice.
and they're 9 years old. M. Night Shyamalan is no longer in the zeitgeist, but your kid comes to you asking, who is M. Night Shyamalan, and what kind of movies did he make? Which one of these films do you show your
Shit.
kid to demonstrate his legacy of films and what kind of filmmaker he was?
Has he stopped making films as of 2021? Like in this
Yeah,
timeline?
yeah, we're-
he
yeah,
doesn't-
yeah,
Old
we're
was
going-
his last
We're,
movie.
we're going
Old was
just
his
with
last
his
film.
current body of work.
Oof. Then I think it's the Happening. But then I showed the good films.
That's
You
not how
only-
this
you
works.
can only show them one movie.
Only one
Only
of these two.
of these two movies.
You have like some weird Blu-ray disc that has all of his movies on it. Well, it just has those two movies, and then it destroys itself like a Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
mission.
Signs then. Because Signs was my first like spoopy movie, so I feel like, and I was around 9 or 10 when I watched it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that would be a generational passing of the torch, you know?
Okay, so there's
Okay.
a personal bias here. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay,
It's
Dan?
the wild card question.
Yeah, the question is showing what kind of filmmaker Shyamalan was, but continue.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
I'm the Happening.
Okay.
I think that's why Shyamalan's in the zeitgeist. Most people, I think, now are more familiar with him because of his garbage than for The Sixth Sense, than for Unbreakable, than for Signs. Period. Like, I think that's why he exists now. When he made Split, people were like, okay, here we go again.
I thought Split was pretty popular, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
was
a
fine.
popular, totally clunky movie. Yeah.
Yeah. You saw it?
I've seen it.
I think we watched it.
I think we may have watched it.
Yeah.
It's not what it should be.
No. What's your choice?
Do I get to answer? It's my
Yeah,
question.
yeah, you do.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also going. I'm with you, Jack.
Yeah.
For me, it's The Happening. I think that's because Shyamalan he's had 2 hits in a what 20 movie catalog, 10 movie catalog.
3 hits.
Third?
3 or 4.
What was the third?
Third would be Unbreakable.
Was Unbreakable a hit?
It's
considered a very good movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the one with Sam Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And Bruce
3.
Willis.
So 3 out of.
Out of a lot.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen The Village?
No.
It wasn't terrible.
Parts of it. Yeah, that was the transitional movie.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the movie people were like, "Oh shit, more Shyamalan," and it came out. People were like,
Wait a
"How
minute.
was it?" And they were like, "Not his best." It wasn't like shit, but they were like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah, I feel like that was the point where people started to grow tired of the twist ending.
Yes.
Yeah, that it became really clear that was all that was going on.
Right.
I even think that like I think there's something. I hope Shyamalan takes pride in his schlock, like because Signs is a fine movie, but it's honestly a fine movie. When it's put up against other movies that are made like it, it's even worse.
I don't know. But it's where
he's the best
It's where
at
his
schlock.
directorial eye comes out better. In Signs,
a bit.
like I enjoyed watching the journey that he was giving me in Signs.
Yeah, sure.
It's brilliantly crafted.
Yeah. Well, he lost the round.
Yep.
So
That's fine.
that one. That's fine,
Crafted.
Sid.
Brilliantly crafted.
All right.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
All right.
So it goes. That means that with only 3 votes to 2. I mean, it's the same creator, so I guess that's not a surprise. But
Still kind of surprising.
still kind of surprising. The Citizen Kane of the week is
I'm insane with anger!
Signs, right? Signs.
I couldn't tell if you were miming putting on a crown.
Oh, now I am.
Oh.
Right. 'cause, like, has
So
been,
so I'm putting on a crown and it's covered in bells. Not those bells. That's what those ones.
yeah, big gong-like bells. So next week or next not week anymore, but next episode.
Yeah, we have some suggestions to throw out there.
Yeah. So the Dune
Versus
v.
Dune
Dune.
v. Dune.
is a possibility.
Dune.
It's the new Dune
Dune.
versus the Lynch Dune,
Yeah.
which is widely considered to be one of the just why was this movie ever made?
Isn't it a huge cult hit though? Like, isn't there a massive following?
Just
for
because
Dune?
it's like it was
'Cause
still
it's
kind
so
of
bad.
it was like still kind of also the best that they had.
Yeah, it's also it was the only Dune movie until they made a miniseries in the early 2000s.
Oh, maybe the miniseries is what I'm referencing. Actually,
It's like the miniseries has fucking from Split and Dr. X.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, yeah.
Oh,
He's
really?
a young James McAvoy's in the miniseries.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're not watching that one. We'd be watching Patrick Stewart and Sting and
and what's his
Patrick
face
Stewart?
Patrick Stewart.
from Showgirls.
yes.
He's like the main guy.
Yeah.
What guy from Showgirl?
The guy who has sex with her.
McLaughlin.
In the pool.
Kyle McLaughlin.
Kyle MacLachlan, and he was on Twin Peaks.
Yeah. He's in it too. Yeah, it's a great cast that just misfires from start to finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember as a kid it would occasionally be on like the movie network, and I would like be like, this looks like a movie that I should like, and I'd be like, what the fuck? And I would like only watch it for like
Patrick
10
Stewart
minutes.
has hair. It's very weird.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now I want to do it.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. And the other option was the gangster.
Yeah,
week.
I was thinking of going back to our classics roots and hitting one of the classics of all classics, The Godfather,
Yeah.
and putting it up either against, we discussed Goatee or Gotti or...
I like Goatee better.
Goatee, or Gangster Squad.
Right. I mean, Gotti. At some point we probably should get
That's
that
like
movie
King
on.
Schlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
if we
maybe
should put it against like
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Well,
Part
that's the
3.
thing. I
Give
think
it a chance.
if we're gonna do The Godfather, I feel like we need a schlock movie that has some unique quality that gives it
Mafia.
a fighting chance.
Godfather
'Cause
versus Mafia.
Otherwise,
It's
it's
a parody film.
yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just gonna be The Godfather destroying any like bad gangster movie we put up against it, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. I kind of
Thought that before.
I kind of feel also like
But yes.
maybe Gotti might be a good like Travolta week.
If we do another Travolta,
Have we done a Travolta week?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever and Battlefield Earth.
That's like
All
our
right, that was
first
Travolta.
episode.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot that we put it
That
up
we
against.
released.
right. Whoops.
I think I'm down to do Dune.
Yeah, we can do
Go to the movie theater, have a boy date,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll do Dune.
cut out the
I-
bottoms of our popcorns.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they don't have popcorn everywhere.
Yeah.
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 Well, guys.
Dune v. Dune.
Let's
Dune.
Let's play them out. Come on, guys.
Now only Daniel.
Now everyone.
Why are you listening still? Go away.
I meant for you to like do other instruments.
Doom.